Aunt does not like reaping what she sows. So I, 28 non-binary, have an aunt who we will call Sam. She has always been an absolute awful individual who goes into meltdown mode at the drop of a hat if things are not going her way or if she is offended by the slightest thing. I have plenty of stories about why she is a piece of rotten fruit, but this subreddit is for consequences and she often did not get any. This, though, happened last Monday. Because Sam's health is so terrible, she gets disability and one of those super cheap apartments for low-income people. For whatever reason, they dropped the amount of disability due to a clerical error that can be fixed if she just called them. But this woman is epically lazy, and it is not because of the disability, I can assure you, but again this is a completely different story on a subreddit about consequences, so just, never did it. Because she does not want her sister to be homeless and starving, my mother began funneling so much time and money into Sam. My parents are trying to save to retire, but they are basically funding Sam's whole life. Help with rent, gas for her car, power bill, food, nicotine sticks, basically everything. And every month Sam's disability has been gone sooner and sooner in the month. I could tell she was starting to take advantage of the help she knew my parents would give her, and I did mention it to Mom, but it was only a passing comment, not a discussion. Well, last Monday Sam came to Mom's house with her tin can out, ready to beg more money off her sister. She needed cat food. She cannot afford any. Could Mom please help? My mother has mobility issues right now. Something is very wrong with her foot, and she can barely walk around her house, never mind a store. So she could not go with Sam to the store. She also did not have any cash on hand. So she gave my leech of an aunt her debit card. The noise I made at this point in my mother's explanation is something I will never be able to describe or replicate. So she told Sam, go to dollar store. Get food for your cat, a couple things for you to eat over the next few days, and 1 pack of nicotine sticks. This would have come out to about $20 to $25. Sam being Sam, she did not do that. She went to local chain grocery, where everything is insanely overpriced. Spent $55. Took an extra $20 in cash back. When she got back to my mom's house and explained this, claiming she was not sure if the dollar store would have everything she needed, Mom was angry. Then she found out about the $20 that Sam had taken out without permission for gas, and she went from angry to apoplectic. Sam has spent the whole week begging Mom for the favors she usually does, and claiming her feelings are hurt because Mom will not talk to her. Mom just keeps responding that she is still mad, and Sam needs to leave her alone for a while to cool down. So Sam is not getting any money, any errands run, or any attention, and she hates it. She is throwing an epic fit, but she bit the hand that was feeding her and drew blood. Edit. I see all the people in the comments worried about Kitty. I promise she is fine. Sam adores her and has raised her up from a stray kitten her apartment complex found, a group of babies but no mum are to be found, to a lovely middle-aged cat. When, not if, my parents are going to make sure she gets to a care home because this situation is untenable. Sam gets moved into a care home. Kitty is going to be moved into my parents' house. If for some reason they cannot take her, I am the backup. Kitty is and will be fine. Commenter asked, goodness, I hope your mother cuts her out completely. OP responded, we can only hope. Mom has been trying to shove her into a care home. She really needs it. For months, but Sam just refuses to go to the necessary appointments. Commenter asked, here is hoping your mom keeps adding those consequences until Sam gets the message. OP responded, cheers to that. I actually get the feeling that things are going to start moving faster now because there is no way my stepdad is not going to get involved after this, and he gets things done when he is and he is the one working and paying for this stuff, so. Yeah, I am expecting results. Commenter asked, has the original poster's mother cut off money from Sam? OP responded, my mother has completely cut off money and pretty much all errands, including those involved with getting Sam into a home. Basically, the only thing she has been doing is occasionally bringing some food. She has made it clear that it is up to Sam to get rides and find ways to pay her bills or get into a home because she is a grown adult. It is actually working pretty well, all things considered. She also was not invited to Thanksgiving, but things had cooled down enough by Christmas that she came to Christmas, and things were very calm compared to the usual. OP commented, your money is really tight for my parents right now, and I have no idea what her debit has on it, but I know they keep the majority of their money in the savings account. I would guess there was about $100 in there. Sam spent $75 when Mom had essentially told her to take $25 maximum. Commenter asked, let us just hope that Aunt Leach did not have the intelligence necessary to think about saving the card info to her phone to use on online purchases later. OP responded, oh no, she is barely capable of using a cell phone. And my parents keep a close eye on their accounts, so if she did, she would be caught instantly and the cards would go into cancelled purgatory. Commenter asked, has Sam been taking care of her cat? OP responded, she does dote on her kitty. I will give her that. The cat is in a very happy environment for herself. And when Sam is moved into a care home, my parents have already agreed to take her, and if, for whatever reason, they cannot, I have also agreed to be second choice. But I already have 2 cats and there is a pet limit of 3 at my trailer park, and I do not really want to give up that last slot if I do not have to. Plus it would probably upset my girls. I will take her if I need to, but mom and stepdad are the better choice. They have one pretty chill cat and a happy little yappy dog. Commenter asked, your mom knew what would happen when she gave Sam the debit card, and personal identification number 2. Setting Sam up for a fall, then acting like a victim. Jerk move by your mom, to be honest. OP responded, she is a victim. She has been nothing but generous and helpful towards her sister for months. Sam came for money for cat food and mom said, oh, get some stuff to eat and a pack of nicotine sticks, too. That was already going overboard in helping her. Just because I think she did something really stupid by giving Sam her debit card does not mean that it is okay that Sam stole upwards of $50 from her. I have been lent her debit card before when I was in my late teens, early 20s and still living at home, and you know what I did? I bought the things I needed at the place where they were cheapest, and came home with a receipt for my mother. The fact that a 70-ish-year-old lady cannot have the same self-control as an attention deficit hyperactivity disorder bipolar young adult is not my mother's fault. Commenter asked, what about the original poster's mother's foot? OP responded, there is currently no diagnosis, but it is not that. This has been going on for months. Her whole foot is either numb or painful, and I actually do not know when it started because mom only mentioned it to me when she said she got a new doctor. Commenter asked, wow. So why did not your mom try to fix the disability checks? OP responded, because it has to be done by the person who actually got disability as far as I know. I actually do not know much about what is wrong or how it works because I did not ever really ask for details. All I know is they dropped the amount they gave her. Commenter asked, the original poster's parents should focus on saving for retirement instead of helping Sam. OP responded, they are pretty prepared for moving on. There is actually a timeline for them and they are still saving. They will be across the country by this time next year with stepdad's parents in Idaho. It has been mom's dream for decades to move out there. They have been saving for retirement still, which is why the belt is so tight for them right now. And they will be able to save a lot more once Sam is in a home. My stepdad has worked at the same company for decades and, I do not know the exact details, is getting a huge cash bonus in the beginning of the year which will really help their retirement account. They do not expect me to take care of them. My own health is really bad. If I was ever in their plans to help with their golden years, swiftly taken out of the running after my coma. OP commented, additional information from OP, giving an example regarding Sam's behaviors. I will tell you a few things that have happened to maybe paint a broader picture of her personality. My 21st birthday party started cracking just barely not homophobic jokes about me being gay until I literally left my own birthday party and went home. Easter Sunday, about 8 years ago, my grandpa started making jokes about the #Me Too movement. I cut him off and pointed out that it is not funny to joke about victims of terrible and inappropriate harassment. Sam started ranting extremely loudly about how people are going to disagree with you, and you cannot expect them to be so sensitive for a good 5-8 minutes. We were in a family restaurant. Easter Sunday, the next year. Note that most interactions I have on here are from holidays because as previously stated, I am as no contact as possible with this woman, my fiancé, and I were living in the basement apartment of my grandfather's house. One of our bosses at the time needed to pick some keys up from us. He was in the driveway for less than a minute, and as he left Sam was screaming insults at him. Grandpa had gone to pick her up and she literally got out of the car while it was waiting to get in the driveway to screech at my boss. Then she saw my partner, meeting them for the very first time, and started screaming abuse and insults at them, too. I came upstairs because my partner had not come back down and heard this and lost my absolute temper like I had never before, leading to a screaming match that just got worse and worse. At one point, she got one of those heavy manual can openers from the kitchen and was holding it up like she was going to throw it at me while still screaming about how stupid and terrible I was and how I was making her act like this, and it was of course all my fault. I told her she was acting insane and she shrieked, I take MY medications. In the most accusatory tone I have ever heard, she was implying that I do not take my psychological medications, which I do, and her taking her psychological medications does not mean much when she is chasing me around the house yelling that she hates me and that I'm stupid and crazy. Christmas, a few years ago, some of mom and stepdad's friends come to Christmas dinner because most of the family has moved away or passed away, and mom gets sad that it is just me, partner, her, stepdad, and Sam. I introduced myself and my partner by our chosen names. We are both non-binary and do not like our assigned birth name. Sam, who was in the same room as us, went on a rampage where she said that those were couple nicknames we call each other, and when I tried to very politely diffuse the situation by firmly stating that no, these are the names we use and want to be called by, she freaked out and said that it was not my name because it was not on my birth certificate. By the way, my assigned birth name is actually 2 assigned birth names because I was given 2 first names at birth. I have exclusively gone by the first name only, but apparently that is okay even though it also does not match up with the birth certificate. I continued to firmly try and shut her down. I managed to keep from screaming myself this time even, and she just got more and more hysterical until she finally just left because I had offended her so badly. She used to live with my grandpa for free, and all she was expected to do was keep the house clean. She never cleaned. There were always months' worth of food stuck to the stove, the counters and floors were filthy, and she spent most of the time laying down and watching television. She spent thousands of dollars of grandpa's money on scratch-off tickets. When she finally got kicked out, they found hundreds of tickets in her bedroom. For 2 years during this decade, the Christmas decorations were up year-round because she refused to put them away. None of these issues were ever resolved until my mom stepped in and cleaned the house, put away the decorations because she hated watching her dad live in that filthy house. But it was not Mom's job to do that, it was Sam's. She just did not. Grandpa finally kicked her out after she did something really egregious that I do not recall, but I have seen this woman beat on the hood of a visitor's car with her fists in full-blown hysteria. She sees a psychologist, but I do not know if that is even helping a little. Update 1. Here is the initial post, but the too long, did not read is that I, 29 non-binary, was told by my mother about my mean-spirited individual of an aunt stealing about $50 from my mother. I will address a couple points real quick for clarification. Anyone who was worried about my mother's leg issue, there were a few people in the comments. She had a clot or something that was cutting off blood flow to her foot and part of her calf. They managed to get rid of it before it ruined her leg badly enough to require amputation, and she is fine now. Currently packing for my parents' move across the country when my stepdad retires in November. Actually, Sam's cat is safe. She ended up being taken by the neighbor Sam got her from as a kitten. Now, onto the important bit. After Sam blatantly taking advantage of the fact that my mother had something wrong with her leg and could not walk around her own house, let alone accompany her to the store, Mom took a huge step back. No more rides. Sam is an adult. No more money. Sam is an adult. The only thing that Sam really got from anyone was the occasional box of food, mostly food from the food bank that my fiancé and I were not planning on eating. No more going above and beyond for a woman who refuses to get herself help and screams constant insults. I would say it might be dementia, except she has been this crazy my whole life. Despite this, Sam started getting more and more demanding, using her increasingly poor health and mobility to try to bludgeon my mother into helping her. To the point where, one of the examples Mom gave me, she could not get up from the toilet without help, so she called my mom, demanding that she drive 45 minutes to Sam's house to help Sam off the toilet, only for a neighbor to have already done it by the time Mom got there. Sam ended up in the hospital. I think someone called an ambulance for her. I am not sure, as Mom just said she went to the hospital, and I am so proud of my mother. Sam called her and demanded she get some of her things from Sam's apartment for her hospital stay. Mom said okay, left the stuff at reception. Then she drove home. She told me that in the moment Sam called her, she knew this would be the last favor she did for Sam. The last time they would have contact. She did not even bother bringing Sam's belongings directly to Sam. Sam has lung cancer and will be going into hospice, and that is all we know and all I care to know. This all actually is not new news. Mom cut her off months ago. Sam could very well be dead by now, and I would not know it. If there is a funeral, I am not going. I hate this woman. She has made my life miserable for 2.5 decades, and I severed any emotional attachment to her years and years ago. Since I finally do not have to keep any kind of cordial relationship with Sam to keep my mother out of the crossfire, I am free. I never have to speak to that woman again. I routed all her calls to voicemail and muted her text notifications. I am never going to speak to her again. Mom and stepdad are never going to speak to her again. Even her brother, who is a dishonest person in a completely different way, is never going to speak to her again. Her terrible behavior, hysterical tantrums, threats of harm, entitled attitude, and just generally being awful has led to the consequences of her inevitably dying alone from a terrible disease with no sympathy from me. Too long, did not read. The consequences stuck, and Sam is going to die alone in hospice from lung cancer. A relevant comment said, happy ending for all. Even Kitty. A relevant comment said, I remembered the original post as soon as I started reading, and I am so glad the original poster let us know Kitty is safe. Original poster, I am glad this woman is out of you and your family's lives. I hope you can all put her out of your minds altogether soon. She is not worth the mental energy it takes to think about her. Opie commented, oh, I totally agree. It is why I took so long to post the update. I literally just forgot about her for a while. Not my problem. Never again. A relevant comment said, that was an expensive $75. Opie commented, it is crazy to think that if she had not been so brazen about disregarding Mom's instructions for what to do with Mom's debit card, Mom might have let her leech for so much longer. A relevant comment said, A moment of respect for the healthcare workers who have to deal with this mean-spirited individual during her lucid moments. The good comfort medications. They are not for Sam. They are for the certified nursing assistants. OP commented, "Cheers to the healthcare workers who do their best even to the people that do their worst."